One thing I know that's frustrating, so talking about this new practice manager, somebody who learns new things, a lot of times they'll read something in a magazine or go to a show or talk to the practice owner and they have a new idea, but they feel frustrated about sort of team buy-in on these new ideas. So they get fired up, intellectually fired up at a show or after reading an article, and they go back to their practice and feel like they just can't make change happen. What kind of advice do you give a practice manager in that position?
Sure. I mean, ultimately, that's the hardest part. I mean, we can sit here and talk about ideas all day long, but if we can't implement them, then we're really going nowhere. And that's what's fun about being at conferences such as this, is that you do get fired up, you get inspired, you understand, that several people have the same problem that you do. And so you go back to the practice on Monday morning and boom, you urgently have all these little fires that have come up since you've been gone. And that's what happens is we start working on all those little urgent issues and we've already forgotten what it is we learned. So what I would really encourage you to do is walk out of here with 3 or 4 concrete goals and go back and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, take your practice owner or owners out to lunch and say, hey, for the next 3 months, I want to see these ideas implemented. What works really best, of course, I'm still in practice managing. What works best is when I'm able to go to education with my owners. Because when we actually at the same lecture, we're all 3, for me, I have 2 practice owners, we're all 3 fired up and inspired. Because that's the first area you have to, when you get home, you have to, kind of sell it to your practice owners. And that's not always so easy. And sometimes they'll give you that line, well, we tried that 5 years ago, it doesn't work. And just because it didn't work 5 years ago doesn't mean it won't work today. But I think having those concrete goals, and then you have to get staff buy-in. Ultimately, they're going to dictate whether you're going to have success or failure with your ideas. And so you're going to know who your key players are, you're going to know who your leadership team is, you're going to know who the loudmouths are, excuse the term, but you're going to know who dictates the culture a little bit of the clinic, and hopefully that's you. But so my goal would be to pull them in, over the next couple weeks, and people are always going to be on high alert when you come back from conferences, but give a little bit of time and then start pulling those people in, or take 1 or 2 out to coffee and say, hey, I learned about this idea, I'd love your input. And I think when you start to empower those other team members, when you start to kind of give them the inside information, if you will, you're going to find that buy-in is going to be much greater. So when you do go to that staff meeting or you do go to make that change, you're going to have those loudmouths, you're going to have those team leaders, you're going to have them already on board and kind of shaking their head going, oh, I already knew about that. So that's where I would start.